All right, good afternoon. I guess it's evening at this point. It's 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the Zero Meter Chasers live update for the potential winter storm that we have coming in later on this week. Give me 1 second. I don't know why this is always an issue. There we go. Camera always gets blurry for some reason. I have to deactivate it and activate it back. So the first thing we're going to start with, a lot of people have been asking me about this, and this is especially for our team member Heather. We have some auroras possible tonight outside. There's already been some spotted. I don't know if there's any been spotted in Kentucky yet, but there has been some spotted across the southern U.S., so I'm sure that some auroras are possible, maybe even right now. So if you go outside, look to your north. The best way to view auroras, again, I'm not a space weather expert. Okay, this has to do with space weather. I didn't really specialize in space weather. This is just something that has really become, I guess I should say, I wouldn't say more frequent, but we've definitely seen more of these over the past couple years. But it's definitely possible. The best way to look at view these is to look north. Get your iPhone camera or your cell phone camera, take a picture pointing north, and you'll be able to see those auroras if there's any present. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that because there is a severe how do you even say it? Geomagnetic storm. There you go. Like I said, didn't specialize in space weather here. Severe geomagnetic storm G4. That's one of the stronger storms. So auroras is definitely possible to be seen across Kentucky this evening. So now let's get to what everybody really tuned in for, and that is the potential for a strong winter storm later on this weekend. So this is the latest information. I got this from the National Weather Service. This is on their website. We just used their information and put it on a better graphic. That way you guys can kind of see everything in a clearer way. But what we do know as of right now, again, we're 5 days away from this potential winter storm. A lot of things are going to change over the coming days. What we do know is a storm system is expected to impact the region this weekend. We definitely know that. We definitely know that cold Arctic air is going to be in place. This is going to favor mostly snow across our area, which is definitely some good news. You'll find out why here in just a second. Significant wintry precipitation is possible, and that obviously with snow being the primary precipitation type, Anytime you have significant snow, we're talking about several inches of accumulation, right? Uh, Probably the biggest news out of all of it is we're going to be looking at some very cold temperatures next week. That's going to be overlooked because everybody's going to look at the snow situation, the winter storm situation, but I don't want us to overlook the very cold temperatures going into next week. I'll highlight that here in just a second as well. Here's what we don't know, and this is what we're going to be finding out here over the next couple of days. We don't know the exact placement of the Arctic high pressure, and that's going to affect the storm's track. Again, I've got all this information ready to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys everything. A very, very informational video session this evening. And then we don't know the exact precipitation amounts and types. Now, I just told you guys we're looking at mainly snow. That's going to favor mostly snow across our area. But some of these areas could see a wintry mix, some sleet, some freezing rain mixed in with that. And, I'm not going to rule out if this track comes north just a little bit more, some of the areas could see a little bit more freezing rain than what we're currently forecasting, okay? So, I'm going to show you guys, I typically do not do this. I typically don't show model data until we get, say, within 3 days, but I've seen enough of it already. I knew this was going to happen. Facebook is running rampant with people posting snowfall maps showing all these insane amounts. There's people talking about it. The hype is through the roof. We're 5 days away. So, a lot of people's already seen it, so you guys might as well see it from us. The same stuff that we see, we'll kind of go over everything, and, I'll tell you guys kind of my thoughts here at the end, okay? So, make sure I've got a little checklist here. So, we go over everything that I want to go over. So, the first two is checked. So now we're going to go into the modeling data here. So, give me just a second. We'll take this one off right here and this one off. Okay. So the first model I'm going to show you guys is the GFS model. So I've got 3 models that I'm going to show. We're not going to go over every single model we look at. We will be here all night if I do that. We're going to go over basically the 3 main models that we look at this range. These 3 models specialize in kind of a medium range. Say your 5 to 8 day forecast, okay? I guess I'd say really 4 to 8 day forecast is kind of what these models specialize in. So the first model that I'm going to show you guys is the GFS. And the GFS is forecasting a very strong high pressure system. And what that means is it's going to push this storm to the south. We're going to have a high pressure system, strong Arctic high to our north. And the GFS is forecasting this to be a very strong area of high pressure, which means it's going to force this storm more to the south. So if you like snow, this is not what you like to see, but again, this is a model that we look at. It still shows information just like the other models do, so we can't completely throw it out. It's not been great this winter, I will say that, but we still have to look at it. We still have to take what it's saying and kind of factor it into everything else we're looking at, okay? So, basically, winter storm gets going to our south. I've got this zoomed out because it doesn't really show a whole lot for Kentucky. This really paints a Dixie Alley type winter storm, your traditional storm that they don't get down there, okay? But we get into Friday, Saturday, Tennessee, northern part of Mississippi, northern part of Alabama, northern part of Georgia, all snow. You go just south of that, you get into the freezing rain, and that's going to be your central Mississippi, central Alabama, central Georgia. So this is a storm that's really been pushed to the south because the GFS is saying this high pressure is going to be strong. And then as this storm pushes off to the north and east, we get some snow on the eastern part of Kentucky. I guess I should say the eastern half of Kentucky here. I wouldn't even say I-65. I would say between I-65 and I-75, and then it moves out. Not much in the way of any type of wintry precipitation here for Kentucky. Here is the snowfall accumulation map on this one, and again, nothing too crazy here. We're looking at a couple inches. Now, I will say this, the snow ratios are going to be a little bit higher because we're going to have much colder air in place. So even though this is showing 1 to 2 inches, this is probably more like 2 to 4 inches in the areas here in Kentucky that's showing snow. but again, nothing crazy. The bulk of the snow falls to the south. Say your eastern part of Tennessee, even more south of that. So let's get into the Canadian, and the Canadian's a little more bulkier with the snowfall. Okay, so here's the winter storm. It starts out as snow. We're looking at probably early Saturday morning, maybe even late Friday night. Again, the timing still to be determined. But as of right now, sometime on Saturday morning is what it looks like according to the Canadian model. Now, I've already marked the Canadian model as not safe for work. It's pretty. The amounts are pretty up there. It's pretty high. Okay, but this pretty much stays all snow. This purple you get in here, that gets into like a wintry mix, like your sleet type areas. That's going to cut down on the snowfall accumulation just a little bit, but for the most part, we stay all snow here in Kentucky. Then the storm moves out off to the east as we head into Sunday. Here is the snowfall accumulation map from the Canadian model, and again, you guys can see why I have marked it not safe for work. It's pretty gruesome when it comes to snowfall, and again, even though that this points anywhere between 13 and 15 inches, snowfall amounts are going to be higher because the snow ratios are going to be higher. This is based off, this is not even a 10 to 1, this is a Kushra ratio, but they're going to be, our snow ratios are going to be higher than that. So you're probably looking at closer to, 15 to 20 inches probably, and if it works out like this, it's been showing this for a couple runs now, so this is not something that it's just a one-run wonder, okay? This is something that's been consistently showing up. It's been showing snowfall, in different places here over the last couple days. I've just declined to really share that for you guys, but y'all have already seen it anyways, right? So that is the Canadian model. This is what I was showing you guys with the freezing rain. So just south of the snowfall, there's going to be a major ice storm somewhere with this system. The Canadian model is pointing, say, from Nashville all the way over to the Great Smoky Mountains. Pretty devastating ice storm. I'm not saying this is going to verify. This is just what the Canadian is showing. Okay, so if the storm does shift a little bit north, we might have to lower the snow totals, but you're going to increase your ice amounts. But on the other hand, if it gets pushed way further south, our snowfall totals will be lowered as well. We might not see anything. So lots of hazards on the table with this storm. This is what we want to avoid. We don't want this ice that we're seeing down here in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. We do not want that to come north. Unfortunately, somebody's going to get hit with a major ice storm, possibly even historic. We definitely don't want to see that. So again, this is just something else we're tracking with the storm. It's just not the snow. It's the freezing rain ice storm scenario as well, okay? But luckily here for Kentucky, at least for Kentucky so far, that potential ice storm's been staying well to our south. So that's at least some good news for Kentucky. Now we're going to go with the Euro. Again, it's pretty much showing the same thing. This is a 10-1 ratio, okay? We're probably going to double this. So if we double this, you're looking at closer to 20 inches of snow. So we have two models that we're looking at that show in favor of a major snowstorm here in Kentucky. Whether or not any of this happens or not, still to be determined. I'm not sitting here telling you guys we're going to get 20 inches of snow. I'm telling you guys it's on the table, okay? This is what we're going to be tracking here over the next couple of days. I don't want anybody to panic. I don't want anybody to take these maps and be like, Corey, this is what Corey said. This is definitely not what Corey said. This is what Corey's showing you, what the model data is showing. We could 100% get a scenario like this right here where we don't get much snow at all. Here, let me zoom in to the Kentucky area with the GFS scenario here. So, we could 100% get a scenario like this where we see, a couple inches out of it. And knowing Kentucky weather, that'd be the truest Kentucky fashion right there. But, again, the signal is showing up. So this is the European model, and this is the European AI. So the European AI model shows the higher snowfall totals a little bit more to the south, say in central Tennessee from Nashville to Knoxville. Okay, so that's something we're going to be watching. So that is the model data as far as what we're looking at for snowfall accumulations. Again, we're not putting a forecast out just yet. We probably won't do that until, I would say, Wednesday at the earliest. Okay, but confidence is increasing in a major winter storm here in Kentucky. What I do want to point out, I brought this up to start my videos, is the cold temperatures. Okay, so the snow, is still up in the air. We're probably going to see some type of snow. What we're 100% going to see, without question, is the cold air. Okay, this is wind chill temperatures. This is Euro AI model data. Just kind of giving you guys an idea of what the possibilities are. Okay, so this is Friday. This is right when the snow starts, potentially. This is Saturday at midnight. We're in single-digit wind chills. So not only are we going to be dealing with a potential major winter storm with significant snowfall accumulations, our temperatures are going to drop. Wind chills are going to drop to near 0 degrees as we head into Saturday morning. Now those temperatures come up just a little bit, but we still stay pretty much in the single digits on Saturday. We warm up a little bit on Sunday. This is Monday morning. We get back into the single digits Monday morning. Maybe even close to 0 right here. This is Monday at 6 a.m. Where those wind chill temperatures, these are wind chills, by the way. These wind chill temperatures are around 0 degrees. They're lower single digits for much of Kentucky. And if we get a good snow, it's probably going to be lower than that, okay? We warm up Monday. This is noon on Monday. This is Monday afternoon. This is Tuesday midnight. Tuesday 6 a.m. Tuesday at noon, we get into the heat wave. We get wind chills in the 30s. Tuesday night, Wednesday, as we get into Wednesday night, those temperatures drop again. We're looking at wind chills again right around 0. We actually go below 0 potentially Thursday at midnight. This is Thursday 6 a.m. And this is next week. So this is out just a little bit. But I just kind of want to highlight, I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen. I just kind of want to highlight going into next week, we're going to be dealing with cold temperatures. And that's what we do know 100% is those temperatures are coming and they are going to be cold. And if we get a good snow, they're going to be colder than what's currently being forecasted right now. So that's definitely something we don't want anybody to overlook because we are very confident in a colder weather pattern going into next week after this weekend. Okay, so here's what I want to show you guys now. And this comes from somebody I found on Twitter. His name is Content Weather Guy because he's just a content weather guy. I want to give him the credit for this because I found this earlier and 100% I agree with it. So I was talking about the main thing we're watching with this winter storm is how strong that area of high pressure is. This kind of gives you guys a little bit of visual information of how these winter storms kind of work out, okay? So I know this is a little bit blurry. I had to crop it. When you crop it and you expand it, you get a blurrier image. I do apologize for that. So this is the Arctic high. You see the Arctic high up here to the north, right over Minnesota. The big area circled is kind of the region that Arctic high dominates. So this is the weakest. Like this is basically what the I would say the European model is showing. The European model is showing a weaker high pressure system, a weaker Arctic high. It allows this low pressure. You see the red arrow. It allows this area of low pressure to basically take a more northern track. When you get that area of low pressure to move north just a little bit, you get moisture to basically come a little bit further north up into our region, the Kentucky, the Indiana, Ohio. You get that moisture shield to come up just a little bit more to the north because this area, this Arctic high is not pushing it. It's more relaxed. It stays a little bit more to the north. It allows that moisture to come north as well, which means we have more snowfall here in Kentucky, okay? Now, let's say that area of high pressure is just a little bit stronger, okay? Still probably the same scenario here for Kentucky, but it really cuts snowfall out for Indiana, Ohio. This area of high pressure is just a little bit more to the south. It's a lot stronger. You see how much larger this blue circle is. This area is where that Arctic high is dominating. And you guys can see it really pushes this storm a little bit more to the south. You see the red arrow. Again, still favors a generally good track for Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, even Arkansas. But areas to the north, your Indiana, Ohio, really squashed by the snow. It does not really go much farther north than the Ohio River. But same scenario. It's a good track for Kentucky for a good snowfall. Here's the one I'm worried about, okay? This is going to be the only reason we do not see a significant snowfall. If this area of high pressure is really strong, which there is some models indicating that this area of high pressure, this Arctic high, just like the GFS is showing, if it's a really strong area of high pressure, this is what it does. You see the area of high pressure, you see the circle, the blue circle is much larger. This shows a much stronger area of high pressure. It really pushes that system to the south. You see the track going from Texas all the way down through Mississippi, Georgia, and then straight through the Carolinas, and then taking an exit stage left. This is exactly what the GFS is showing, and this is the scenario you get if that area of high pressure is strong, like this is showing. That's the GFS model. And that's exactly what it's showing. The GFS model is showing this exact scenario. It's showing a very strong area of high pressure, and it's pushing that system to the south. So if you like snow, this is what I would be worried about. I'd be worried about this area of high pressure being stronger than what some of the models are showing. The GFS might be right. We don't know quite yet. Right now, the GFS is kind of on a lonely island, but it's still showing the potential of this scenario right here playing out. So I don't want anybody to get their hopes up. I don't want anybody to get too excited, because there still is a chance that this misses us, okay? So this is just Corey talking to you guys about the different scenarios. Right now, like I said, right now the GFS is kind of on a lonely island. We're probably going to be looking at something like this right here or this right here. But this is what we're going to be watching here over the next couple of days. Until we get to that point, what I am going to show you guys right here, let me mark this one off my list. I want to make sure I get everything off my list here. Let's see here. Let me find what I was going to show you guys next. Take these off, and let's get this up here. Yes. So, the last thing I want to show you guys is this right here. Hang on, let me get this taken off. Boom. This is the Winter Storm Severity Index, labeled as the WSSI. And I've got the definition of that right here, so I can explain this to you guys, because I don't even know what the definition of it is. I just know it's a tool we use to kind of show impacts for potential winter storms. So this is a National Weather Service product that helps visualize the potential impacts of winter storm. Okay, it analyzes multiple factors, including snow amount, snow load, which is kind of like the weight of the snow on structures, ice accumulation, blowing snow, flash freezes, potential blizzards, to create an overall impact level. So basically anything that winter could impact you during a winter storm, it kind of throws all that together and creates a, I guess, a number of impacts. So what you're seeing here is this is the likelihood of at least minor impacts from a winter storm. And you guys can see it pretty much already has all of Kentucky in a, I would say that's at least a 60 to 70% chance of at least minor impacts. So we're already, 5 days out and it's showing minor impacts. So that's pretty significant. Let me fix this camera again. There we go. I don't know why it does that. And then you look at, let's see here. This is moderate impacts. So it's already showing a 40 to 50, I would say 40% chance across much of the state for at least moderate winter storm impacts. And then major winter storm impacts. The National Weather Service has already a 10% chance across almost all of the state for at least major winter storm impacts. That's pretty significant being almost 5 days out. The National Weather Service has already thrown out these type numbers. So if we start getting a little bit more agreement with the models. If the models kind of stay the same, the setup still looks the same, I'm sure these numbers will go up. We'll have winter storm watches come out, all that good stuff as the week progresses. With that being said, I'm going to look over. Let me go back and put my original graphic up. It kind of gives you guys the rundown. Again, this is from the National Weather Service. This did not come here from 0 Meter Chasers. We're basically relaying the same information that the National Weather Service put out earlier on their website. We 100% agree with what they're saying, and we're going to stand by that. So it's going to be a very busy week here in the Weather Center. So, again, I'll answer some questions. Please do not ask me how much for your county. I have no idea. We're 5 days out. A lot of things are going to change. I'm just saying the potential is there for a significant winter storm beginning on Saturday. There's a chance this thing could start a little bit earlier, maybe late Friday night, Friday nightish, but we'll keep you guys updated on that. I'll look through some of the comments here, see if there's anything that's been said while I've been talking. Again, do appreciate all you guys tuning on. Almost 1,000 people watching live right now. So definitely appreciate you guys tuning in for the information. And we will be live every day this week. Just might as well go ahead and pencil it in. So I'll give you guys updates on each night. Don't know what time tomorrow. I'll let you guys know on that, but we'll definitely be live here every night with the latest information. So I'll obviously be putting out graphics left and right with the latest information as well. So you guys be paying close attention to my Facebook page, the 0 Meter Chaser Facebook page. Be putting out multiple updates throughout the day as the models update. We'll be rolling that newest data out to you guys as soon as possible. Brian, my favorite model is whichever one's showing the most amount of snow. But that's called wish casting. I try not to wish cast. I try to be realistic when it comes to forecasting and kind of look at all the data. I try not to be biased. But I'm a snow lover. So how I forecast is when I see these big snow numbers, I want to jump on board. Oh, yeah, we're about to get a big one. I try to debunk that. Okay, why will we not get this? So once I debunk that, and kind of walk through the possibilities of the likelihood of us getting the snow versus the likelihood of us not getting the snow. And right now, I think our likelihood of getting a significant snowfall is much higher than us not getting one. So I always look at it both ways before I put out a forecast. And now, the most important thing is we have a team of about 6 people that are looking at the same thing that I do, and we all work together to come up with a forecast. So it's not just me when we put these forecasts out. It's our team here at 0 Meter Chasers. We all work together. We all are in agreement when we put that forecast out. We don't really argue with each other, but, there's some team members that see it this way, some team members see it this. We always kind of meet in the middle. So we got a great team here. We're going to be working hard all week. Nicole, historically, historically, probably the Canadian and the European model are probably more realistic, historically. And I'm not saying that just because they're the two that's showing the most snow, but I mean historically, I'd have to ask the team what they think too. I know what a couple of them's going to say, but historically, I would probably lean Canadian and the European model as being a little bit more accurate, at least at this juncture. We're looking at 5-6 days out at this juncture. It's more accurate. And now as we get a little bit closer, that kind of changes a little bit. There's other models that I like, say inside 3 days. I'd much rather look at the NAM model, the short range Canadian versus the European GFS, yada yada. At a short range. So, I don't really see a lot of questions coming in. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Like I said, we're going to be busy all week, so we'll cut it short tonight. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Again, the team here at Zero Meter Chasers is going to be working hard this week. We're going to be watching everything, staying up late, not going to have a lot of sleep. So you guys keep us in your thoughts and prayers. But we're definitely going to be here keeping you guys up to date with all the latest information. And we'll be keeping you guys safe through the storm. We'll give you guys some safety tips if we are expected to get a significant winter storm, which right now it's probably looking more likely than not. We'll give you guys some safety tips, going as we get a little bit closer, a few days out. That way you guys can get out and prepare for what could be a significant winter storm. So you guys just pay attention to our team, and we'll keep you updated with all the latest information. Until then, you guys have a wonderful Monday night, and we'll talk to you soon.